Please rise for the playing of the national anthem by the Rancho Solano Preparatory Symphony Orchestra.
Please be seated. Graduates, parents, faculty, Dr. Sherman, Josh, and honored guests. First of all, let me say how pleased I am to be the new head of school for the Rancho Solano school system. I've been very impressed since I've been here by the quality of the faculty, by the motivation of the students, and by the passion of the parents. So thank you, it's great to be here. Thank you. It is my privilege this afternoon to welcome you to one of my favorite events of the school year, high school graduation. Though I regret that I didn't get to know your class better, by all accounts, you are a very successful class. Here are a few statistics about this class. Average GPA, 3.63 on a 4-point scale. Average SAT score, 1805, with the national average being 1490. The average ACT score, 25, with the national average being 20. 91 acceptances to 57 colleges and universities. And that's 23 students, ladies and gentlemen. 1 National Merit finalist, 1 Flynn Scholarship finalist, close to, actually, now, Mrs. Mitchell just told me that it's over $2 million in awarded scholarships to these 23 students. A lot of parents clapping out there. This class will be remembered for providing the leadership for our volleyball team to its first section championship, the first section championship for Rancho Solano High School. 2 students in this class signed their intent to play Division III sports in college, the first in the school history. In addition, this class had a Max Preps All-American name. Very impressive class of 2016. Graduates, today you have parents in the audience watching by live stream for those of you who come to us from other countries, and some parents who have to be here in spirit. They provided the support for you as you reached this milestone. I would like each parent of a graduate of the 2000 class of 16 to please stand and remain standing, please. Please remain standing. Graduates, stand up, please. Stand up, turn around, and join me in giving your parents a round of applause. Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you, parents, those of you that are here, those of you that are watching by live stream, and those of you that are here in spirit for supporting these young men and women to reach this milestone. Class of 2016, you are sharing this experience with 3.25 million high school graduates in the U.S. alone. This is one time in your life that you have a shared experience with millions of others in the U.S. and around the world at the same time. Over 2 million of these young people will be going to college, the same as most of you. I hope you remember, as you encounter the first several weeks of college, that it will be a new experience for every freshman. Even those who outwardly seem confident will worry about making friends, worry about finding their way around campus, and worrying about being able to be successful in their college coursework. For a while, you will forget your roots, your family, your high school friends, and your teachers, and your neighborhood as you revel in this new, rich, stimulating environment. Eventually, the novelty will wear off and you will feel a little disoriented, overwhelmed, and homesick. It happens to all of us who find ourselves in new environments. But how wonderful that you have your support system to fall back on. We build our support systems as we go through life, making new friends, forming new relationships. But your bedrock for now is your family, your high school friends, and your high school teachers. They will be there, they will be here when you need them. I hope you also remember that you are not only high school graduates, you are now Rancho Solano alumni, which will be a source of pride for you for all your life. Class of 2016, you already have an impressive list of accomplishments. You are starting the next step in life at the same time as millions of other young people, and you have the support of your parents, your friends, and your teachers. I know you will be successful. Thank you. And now I would like to welcome to the podium Josh Kaplan, who is the Master of Ceremonies for this afternoon, and also the Senior Class President of the incoming class. Mr. Kaplan.
Good evening, everyone. As our head of school, Dr. Johnson, just said, my name is Josh Kaplan, and I am extremely honored to be here tonight to MC this incredible ceremony. This was actually my first year at Rancho, and I could not have asked for better role models than this senior class. They've truly led by example. They've hosted drives for our community, they've led clubs and organizations, they've planned puppy playdates, and they've created incredible rap music. They're fearless, determined, compassionate, and kind. Our Rancho community will not be the same without them. Watching so many of my friends graduate, I cannot wait for my own graduation next year. And although I'm sure the seniors didn't think this day would come nearly quickly enough, I know I'm going to be very sad to see them go. So for your listening pleasure, I'm very pleased to introduce graduating senior Karan Khosla as he plays Partita number 2, BWV by J.S. Bach. The goal for all graduating Rancho Solano students is to encompass the Rancho 5: polite, considerate, responsible, respectful, and in the end, successful. At this event, we are celebrating exactly that: success for all of our graduates. And one of the best parts of success is recognizing greatness. I would like to invite Upper School Principal, Dr. Stephen Sherman, to the podium.
Thank you, Josh. Before I ask my colleagues to join me up on stage in the giving of the subject area awards, I'd like to say a few comments to this very special class of 2016. Now, let's be honest, all graduating classes are pretty special. You, however, are extra special for your diversity. One of our core values is that your diversity makes you stronger. That's nowhere more evident than in your enrollment and participation here at Rancho Solano. You're also unique because I had the great opportunity, the great honor of teaching many of you in the classroom. I consider that a very, very special part of my time here this year, and I thank you for your efforts. This is the time of year for you where you're going to get a lot of advice. A lot of people up on stage and behind you are going to give you a lot of advice. So I'm going to take this opportunity to give you first a definition and then two small pieces of advice. The first definition. Definition of the word wealth. Wealth is not who has the most, it is who needs the least. I pray that you spend your life needing less and less. My first piece of advice is to be others-focused. You will find your greatest fulfillment in encouraging, inspiring, and lifting up others. My last piece of advice is don't let anyone tell you that you can't do something. It may take more time, it may take more effort, it may take more energy, but you can do what you set your heart on doing. I've spent my whole life overcoming and doing things people said that I could not do. I have great confidence that you can accomplish all that you wish. I would like now to invite up the following faculty members to present their subject area awards. Dr. Dane Spencer and Mr. Lee Noble, Humanities Award. Mr. Gordon Brown, Science Award. Mrs. Jennifer Grisham Dobbs, Performing Arts. Ms. Lena Eisenberg, Visual Arts. And Ms. Jen Gu, World Languages. I have the distinct honor, on behalf of the Mathematics faculty, to give the Mathematics Award. The Mathematics Subject Award each year goes to the student who exceeds expectations, is creative in their approach to problem solving, and perseveres in the face of a challenge. This student also possessed a curiosity and grit that led to significant academic success. This year, the Math Award goes to Win Nok Bao Tran Wendy.
The Humanities Subject Award each year goes to the student who demonstrates exceptional micro and meta-thinking mingled with devotion to critical inquiry in both English and history disciplines. Aside from significant academic success in humanities subject areas, this student also shows a devotion to intellectual exploration and multi-layered perspectival approaches to knowledge. This year, the Humanities Award goes to Nicholas Allen Householder.
This year with the Science Subject Award, each year we look at the student who has exceeded expectations as well, is innovative and skilled in lab design, who demonstrates a passion for research. And it is my pleasure to present the Science Award to Shannon Elizabeth Gerber.
The Performing Arts Award each year goes to the student who demonstrates creativity and composition, dedication to their craft, and exceptional technical performance. This student also exhibits remarkable leadership and collaboration skills that support the performance discipline. It is my pleasure to present the Performing Arts Award this year to Chaitanya Dasa Chieli.
The Visual Arts Subject Award each year goes to a student who brings their own passion, creativity, and ingenuity to the subject. The student also demonstrates great technical competence and the ability to create a body of work connected stylistically and conceptually. This year, the Visual Arts Award goes to Emery Hall.
The World Language Subject Awards each year goes to the student who makes the greatest effort and demonstrates outstanding performance in the acquisition of foreign languages. The student also contributes to international communication, maximizes understanding cultural heritage, and embraces the spirit of foreign culture. This year, the World Language Subject Awards goes to Emery and Hall.
The Mustang Award is given to one graduating senior each year who best exemplifies the aspirations that RSPS has for its students. The aspirations are related to all aspects of life for which we work to help these students achieve success. The Mustang Award is considered to be the highest honor that RSPS bestows upon its students. I now invite Dr. Paul Johnson to present the Mustang Award.
Thank you, Josh. It is with great pride I announce the 2016 Mustang Award recipient, Wendy Tran.
I would now like to invite the class of 2016 senior class president, my predecessor, Raheel Ramzan, up to the stage to deliver his senior reflection.
Good evening, parents, faculty, my homies. 4 years ago, I was sitting in the car on the way to Rancho. It was the first day of my freshman year of high school. I distinctly remember having a conversation with my mom, talking about how nervous I was going to a new school and having to make new friends. And I kept worrying about whether people would like me. The only person I knew there was my sister, who was a senior. I was complaining about all of this to my mom in the car ride to school, and she gave me some advice that has stuck with me for my entire high school career. Just be yourself and everything will fall into place. When she told me this, I glared at her and said, "Mom, you don't get it." But she did get it. She was completely right, and throughout my high school career, I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it was humanly possible for me to be myself because I thought that everything I did was to impress someone. My mom, my dad, my sister, my teachers, and all of you, my best friends, showed me that it is okay to be different, that my uniqueness is what makes me special. What makes this incredible is that this way of thinking applies to every person. Everyone has the right to be different because everyone is special, and that's what makes us so strong. Change is inevitable. Each of us has changed throughout the past 4 years to become the awesome, talented, funny, inspiring young men and women that we are today. And each of us will continue to change. But we can't forget where it all started. It all started on that first day of high school when I saw Nathan and Cameron staring out of the window, and instead of saying hello, I stared out the window with them. It all started with Mr. Brown throwing himself against the garage door of Dr. Stewart's class, scaring Anita and Danny. It all started with Coach Trigg yelling at some of us to get on the baseline when we made a mistake in basketball practice. It has concluded with Mr. Stigger making horrible, horrible soccer references in relation to historical events. Every day in school now, I walk by that window and think back to the first day of freshman year. I think about how much has changed and how much we have grown. I remember 3 years ago, sitting in this gym, watching my sister graduate. And for some reason, I never pictured myself wearing this cap and gown, getting ready to finally be an adult, to go to college, to get a job, to pay taxes, and to start a life. We've all been through so much in high school. The late night cramming for exams, the hours we put in for extracurricular activities, and the stress of trying to exceed expectations. I think it's about time that we start following our dreams and our passions. No matter what you do, no matter what path you take, and no matter what career you choose, you will be successful. I know this because each of you is capable of changing the world for the better. Ever since we were kids, we were gifted with our own personalities, and that is something that can never be taken away from us. I want to thank both of my parents for supporting me in every decision, including my passion for music. I want to thank my sister for always being there for me when I need her. And most of all, I want to thank all of y'all for pushing me to be the best version of myself. I love you guys. Thank you. Good night.
It is now my great honor to introduce to you our keynote speaker of the evening. In recent years, we began a tradition of selecting the keynote speaker for this momentous occasion. Each year, the senior class nominates a faculty or staff member that they wish to hear address them on their big day. Growing up on the outskirts of London, our speaker attended an old-fashioned British boarding school, earning a bachelor's degree in history from the University of Leeds, and received his master's degree in multidisciplinary studies from Buffalo State Union. After teaching for 6 years in London and Leeds, our speaker's first international post was in Kuwait, where he taught high school humanities at Al Bayan Bilingual School, a U.S. AP curriculum K-12 school, followed by teaching IB history in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam at the Renaissance International School, Saigon. He joined Rancho Solano Preparatory School in the fall of 2015, and currently is the IB coordinator and 12th grade IB history and American studies teacher. In addition, he is also currently a history examiner for the IB and has been involved in pilot studies for the program. Now, without further ado, it's my great pleasure to introduce to you the 2016 student-nominated keynote speaker, Mr. Richard Stillier.
Family members and friends, faculty, staff, and administration, and of course, the graduating class of 2016. It is a great honor to be asked to speak here today. When I was asked by our graduates whether I would be the keynote speaker, naturally, I immediately accepted. My first thoughts were, sure, no problem, it'll be fine. I then did some research into the types of speeches that we have here. I watched Steve Jobs at Stanford in 2005. I watched Barack Obama at ASU in 2009, and of course, Will Ferrell at Harvard in 2003. I spent quite a bit of time analysing those speeches, looking for any storytelling techniques, interesting themes, or pearls of wisdom. I found nothing that could help me with this speech. And I kind of knew then that actually watching those speeches was a bit of a waste of my time, because I've never been, nor ever will be, one of the founders of a multi-billion-dollar technology company, a president of the United States, or a cast member on Saturday Night Live. So how they might address an audience could not work for me in a way that could give anything I say authenticity or credibility. Obviously, as time went on, other things got in the way. Preparing my seniors for their final IB history exams, organising and proctoring a smooth-ish IB exam schedule, other responsibilities that come here with my job at Rancho, being a husband and a father. This speech began to fall victim to some of my other competing priorities in my life. Then an idea was tossed my way. Many of the seniors asked me to include some references to English soccer. You know, stories of heroism, grit, determination, to inspire them as they advance to college. When I told my wife this, her response was, "But you want them to be successful in college and in later life." At that point, our conversation ended very, very abruptly. And when I began speaking to her again, after several days, I admitted to her that she was maybe just a little bit right. So I was back to square one. I began thinking of some ideas while proctoring the IB exams. After one of these exams, the seniors asked me why I was laughing to myself. And rather embarrassingly, I had to admit that I was chuckling away at some of my own jokes. I instantly realised that that was probably a sign that these jokes would go down like a lead balloon. Finally, I got to the point where I simply had to write the speech and not get sidetracked any longer. This experience might sound familiar to some of our IB graduates here. You know who you are. But then it struck me. I decided to compile a list of lessons that I've now learned by the age of 35 that I wished I'd known when I graduated from high school. Therefore, I will avoid offering advice from the world of English soccer, much to your disappointment, I'm sure. After all, I don't want you to experience the crippling psychological pain of being cruelly denied something you really, really want, despite your own valiant efforts, by a bunch of admittedly charming and slightly smoked Germans. So here are the 10 lessons I would like to humbly share with you today. Don't worry, it's going to be over in a moment. Lesson number 1, always be positive. View every challenge as an opportunity. Try to always see the good in others. Find the positive in all situations, no matter how dire. I'm not telling you to be a hopeless optimist. You would then be as delusional as a hopeless pessimist. But I do know that there are times when this world can appear awfully gloomy, and some people are inclined to give into negativity, cynicism, and pessimism. The right amount of positivity is needed to keep us moving forward. Positive people are winners. This leads to lesson number 2. Don't give in to fear. To quote Master Yoda from Star Wars, fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger,
anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. This may be taken from a science fiction movie, and the second quote I've actually borrowed from Master Yoda in the past month. But it's true. As a history teacher, I can name plenty of examples from the past when this happened. And unfortunately, there are still plenty of people around today who have appeared not to have learned from these examples. In all honesty, I believe history has shown us that this problem can happen to anyone, and that the first signs of descending down that slippery slope to suffering can be hard to detect. That is why you must be extra vigilant to make sure you don't give in to fear. If I were to combine lessons 1 and 2, I would urge you to define yourselves by something you love rather than something you hate. This requires a special type of bravery to stand up for what you believe in, no matter how much you worry others might judge you. At this point, I'm just going to quote directly from maybe the best commencement address I watched on YouTube. An Australian comedian called Tim Minchin, who gave a speech at the University of Western Australia in 2013. He made this point that I've just made better than I ever could. So here we go. I found myself doing this thing a bit recently where if someone asks me what sort of music I like, I say, well, I don't listen to the radio because pop lyrics annoy me. Or if someone asks me what food I like, I say, I think truffle oil is overused and slightly obnoxious. And I see it all the time online. People whose idea of being part of a subculture is to hate Coldplay, or football, or feminists. But try to also express your passion for things that you love. Be demonstrative and generous in your praise of those you admire. Send thank you cards and give standing ovations. Be pro stuff, not just anti stuff. Lesson number 3. Don't be afraid to swallow your pride and borrow someone else's work if they can do it much better than you can. I think I just gave a good example of that. Just make sure you give credit where it's due. Lesson number 4. Don't be afraid to deviate from the plan to take advantage of unexpected opportunities. Plans are important. They help us to figure out where we want to go, and that can be comforting. But don't allow yourselves to be too bound to the plan that it can be suffocating. Some of the best travel experiences can be the most surprising. In fact, some of the best experience, period. 5 years ago, my wife and I were traveling around the Golden Triangle in northern India. We were staying in a village called Samod in the state of Rajasthan. We could have been in the set of an Indiana Jones movie. In fact, our hotel was an old Maharaja's palace. One day, we were due to leave for our next destination, and our local guide asked me if I wanted to go and see a monkey temple, which he said was only 20 minutes away. My wife kindly agreed to finish packing so I could go. It was not a 20-minute journey. It was a 6-kilometer hike over mountains in 100-degree heat, which involved traversing ravines, at one point using one of those old rickety wooden rope bridges, and avoided being bitten by a troop of irate grey monkeys. They were allowed to live in the temple, and they clearly did not take kindly to guests. After a couple of hours, I managed to make it back to our hotel. I nearly missed our ride, and I was desperate for a shower. But the trip to the monkey temple was one of the best experiences I've ever had. And it was all because I managed to deviate from the plan. As it turned out, monkey temples are not uncommon in that part of India. And we saw plenty more by the time our trip was over. Now I can tell you, if you've seen one monkey temple, you've seen them all. But none of them were as good as the one that I saw that day up in the mountains near Samoa. Interestingly enough, there was also a rat temple nearby, but I thought that was one of those opportunities it was okay to give up. Lesson number 5. Whatever you end up doing in life, make sure you do something that helps people. Serving others, helping others, is one of the more rewarding things that you can do. You have your whole life in front of you, and plenty of career options. I believe that those who can help others have a responsibility to do so. Please remember there are plenty of ways to help people. There are the obvious career choices, medicine, government, or other forms of public service, and dare I say it, teaching. No? But there are other jobs that can be just as helpful to society that you may not yet appreciate. When I was traveling to that monkey temple in India, I came across an old man who was building a path from the village to the temple. My local guide told me that he was 70, my local guide told me that he was 70 and he had been working on the path for 50 years. As is often the way in rural India, he had not been hired by the government to build the path and was receiving no official salary for doing so. Instead, it was customary for people to make voluntary contributions, which of course I did. It occurred to me that this man had decided to build this path without guarantee of any regular income derived from it, for the good of his local community. He almost certainly was not going to finish it either. I can tell you he had some way to go, and at his age, he really needed to speed up his construction process. But no one can deny that he was doing something to help others. We can all do something to help society, no matter how small or insignificant it might seem. Lesson number 6, your education is never finished. There are plenty of people who have received a wonderful college education and yet can be tremendously ignorant. There are also plenty of people who have never had the opportunity to go to college and yet can be really educated and knowledgeable about the world. This is not my way of saying that going to college is not important or necessary. You know it is and I know it is. What I'm trying to say is you must never stop learning when eventually you finish your formal education. Education is more than just sitting in a classroom and taking tests. It is a lifelong pursuit. And if you need any help with continuing your education after you graduate from college, go and travel. Travel to lots of different places, and not just places like London or Paris. Visit the developing world and see how people who come from very different circumstances to your own live their lives. My first years in Kuwait and Vietnam were like a couple of years in college condensed into one. Lesson number 7. Always try to see things from other people's perspectives, especially if those perspectives wildly differ from your own. With the advent of social media and 24-hour news cycles, it has become too easy to rapidly dismiss arguments you don't like, listen just to the viewpoints you do like, and even dispute facts that should be indisputable. Actively seek out other people's opinions and seriously try to engage with them. If you disagree, that's okay. Respectful disagreement is a sign of a healthy democracy. But try to figure out why those people hold the opinions that they do. Empathy is a powerful tool that will be vital for the human race to meet the challenges of the 21st century, but sometimes is worryingly undervalued. Part of the secret to learning this lesson requires you to never assume you are correct. Unless, of course, you are absolutely convinced this will finally be the year that England win the European Championships. It's got to happen sometime. Sorry, I did have to include just one reference to England, sorry. Lesson number 8. Be kind to people, especially if you are more powerful than them. One principle I worked under used to say to the students at the beginning of every year, I'm not asking you to be friends with everybody. Friends cost money. You have to buy them presents and things. But kindness costs you nothing and can make everyone's lives easier. So be kind to everyone. I thought that was a great way to look at it. In every society there are the downtrodden and the people left behind. Don't forget about them or consider them worthless. Everyone has value. Out the back of the school I taught at in Vietnam was a man who lived in a swamp. He had built a hut out of bits of driftwood, scrap metal and trash, and obviously had no access to electricity, running water or a toilet. I thought that was real poverty in Vietnam until I came across the guy who couldn't afford to live in the swamp and had to make do with sleeping in a hedge down the side of the school. And that man spoke with very, very good English and a very, very good accent. And so at one point, he clearly enjoyed a prosperous position in Vietnamese society. I hope that this will never happen to you, but it is possible one day that you could be one of those people left behind. If this becomes the case, people remember how you were before you fell from grace and treat you accordingly. To borrow from our old friend Tim Minchin again, I don't care if you're the most powerful cat in the room. I will judge you on how you treat the least powerful. So there. Lesson number 9. Decide what your values and principles are and have the integrity to live them every day. I have just shared with you some of my values and principles. Only you get to decide what yours will be. Make sure you pick some, otherwise people will think you're superficial, or worse, fake. Sticking to these values and principles is harder still, but it will show your integrity. And in my opinion, a person's success is defined by their integrity. Integrity is one of those qualities that just inspires others around you. C.S. Lewis, a professor at both Oxford and Cambridge University, but more renowned for being the author of the Chronicles of Narnia, once said, "Integrity is doing the right thing, even when no one else is watching." He was right, and you get to decide what the right thing might be. Finally, lesson number 10. Remember that you didn't get here on your own. Your entire journey to this point has been one of collaboration with others. You may have been the one that took all the exams, wrote all those papers, and stayed up late at night mastering material, but you were supported along the way by your parents, your friends, your family, each other, your teachers, and your administrators. I'm assuming many of those people won't be here today. For example, I doubt your kindergarten teachers are present. But you should know that there is a long list of people who have devoted much time, love, expertise, care and attention to your success. So I would like to recognise them today on your behalf. Faculty, staff and administration. Your skill, knowledge, care and professionalism has been incalculable in shaping these fine young people so that we can be proud to call them Rancho Solano graduates. Their success is a credit to your hard work. Friends and family, your love and support has done much to sustain our graduates through the tough times and help them to realise that their rewards are all the greater for having accomplished them with you by their sides. I should not forget brothers and sisters either, whether younger or older. You too have played a role in helping our graduates get to this point. I remember at my younger brother's graduation, I continually emphasised to him the role that my wedgies and dead legs played in making him a tougher and therefore better student. I'm sure that you displayed similar generosity in terms of building your brother or sister's character. I'm not advocating sibling bullying, by the way, but I'm just saying. I must also I must also congratulate the parents here today, for our graduates would certainly not be here without your guidance, love and support. I appreciate that this must be such a bittersweet moment for you, where on the one hand you are filled with this tremendous pride at your son or daughter's achievements, but also a sense of sadness that they are getting close to leaving the family nest. However, you should know that you have given the world intelligent, hard-working, considerate, reflective, and caring citizens who will make a positive impact on their communities. And finally, the class of 2016. I know you have all worked very hard to be here today, and I can only imagine how excited you must be on the brink of navigating the opportunities that college will bring. But please remember how you got here and who helped you get here. The secret of your future success will rely upon that. It has been an absolute pleasure and honour to have worked with you, and I look forward to hearing stories of your future success. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the class of 2016.
And now, for your listening pleasure, I am very pleased to introduce Sheer Chop, Madeline de Brabant, Kaylee Payne, and Bergen Harms as they perform Good Riddance, Time of Your Lives, and senior Julia Kuhn. The valedictorian is one of the highest academic honors that can be received upon the culmination at each level of education. At Rancho Solano, the valedictorian must have attained the highest grade point average across all 4 years of their high school career. We would now like to invite up Dr. Stephen Sherman to present the valedictorian of the class of 2016.
Thank you, Josh. It would be easy to quantify the valedictorian of the class of 2016 as a student with the highest GPA. Doing so would be a gross underestimation and minimizing the impact of this student. Fiercely competitive, passionate, intelligent, inspiring, simply willing others around her to win. This student is successful both in the classroom and on the volleyball court. In some ways, it's very fitting the commencement service is in this building, a building that she, in many ways, helped build. One of the most amazing things is that Shannon and the Gurley family has been a part of the Rancho Solano family for 14 years. Her impact cannot be underestimated. We're very pleased, and we're going to miss her terribly, to present the class of 2016 valedictorian award to Shannon Elizabeth Gurley.
Dear class of 2016, faculty, administrators, family, and friends, happy graduation day. I promise to limit the amount of cliches to a minimum for Dr. Stewart's sake. However, on such a monumental occasion, it is fitting to use traditional phrases. But anyway, congratulations, we did it. 4 years ago, we were freshmen, and all we wanted was for these past 4 years to pass by quickly, because it meant more independence and life-changing experiences that we saw in those typical coming-of-age movies that may have been lame overall, but the events were nonetheless desirable. Unlike those movies, our class has been composed of approximately 20 to 25 students. We did not have the traditional experience, and that has made all the difference in our academic and social lives. The small classes with the IB program challenged us and allowed us to realize our full potential. Our small numbers allowed us to develop a connection that no other graduating class can replicate. I am honored to say that I know something about each and every one of you, and I am beyond excited for what the future brings all of us. Our international students introduce another aspect of our community that helps to define us. We have not only gained a global academic perspective that Mr. Stillion preached about for the past year, but new points of view and opinions rooted in cultural pride and tradition. There were the obvious and immediate benefits of eating tons of food or learning a few bad words in different languages. But over the long term, we have developed the amazing life skill of looking outside of ourselves to consider other perspectives besides our own or from people like us. In High School Musical, the main conflict is the disruption of the status quo by the protagonist couple. We have all participated in that defiance of stereotypes. For example, one of our 3 exceptional artists was the school mascot. The other, cheer captain and libero of the section championship volleyball team, and the third, a member of the cheer team. Our student body president has already begun his rap career. Girls in IB chemistry, math, and physics were on the cheer team or played basketball, and our prom queen was a star member of varsity basketball and cross country. We have had so many opportunities, and we seized as many as possible. We are truly a well-rounded group of young people by more than the IB standards. Today is the day we have counted down to for at least 4 years, and in a few months, another important day, marked by our attendance of our first college courses, will inevitably occur. Life is a series of unstoppable events, but the significance of each instance is determined by how we use each experience to prepare for the next one. So before we move our tassels to the opposite side and fling our caps in the air for that iconic photo, we need to reflect on how we have come to this point. We have had a strenuous 4 years and an even more strenuous last semester in preparation for IB exams. I truly believe that our collaborative cramming efforts prior to those exams solidified our friendships through unity against a common enemy. However, our bonds first formed and continue to form as early as our freshman year, and despite our growth and increased levels of maturity, we have strengthened our connections, and I am confident they won't be lost in these coming years. In its mission statement, Rancho prides itself on the ability of the students to be architects of our own future and education. While we all are independent thinkers and individuals, we have had tremendous facilitators in our academic career composed of our tremendously passionate and dedicated counselors and faculty. Thank you so much to each of you for all that you have given this senior class over the past 4 years. You have not only educated us within your respective subjects or directed us through the scary college admissions process, but guided us through this transformative time in our lives and supported us through all of our endeavors. You held us accountable so that we could achieve more than we expected. And you were generous to the point that we may never be able to fully repay you. We will never forget your efforts and the connections we have developed with you. But in the event we have a minor lapse in memory, no one can forget some of your priceless advice and experiences we have shared with you in and out of the classroom. For example, we are fully indebted to Dr. Stewart for his life lessons that vertical food delivery systems are not acceptable for a main course, and that girls should never fall in love with someone who wears his underwear on the outside of his clothes. Mr. Brown's comical yet genuine advice of just say no. Mr. Stilliard's ridiculous assertion that Watergate was actually bad. Senora Valente's impromptu flamenco dancing. Mrs. Adams' phenomenal baking skills and generosity. Mr. Burgess's cheerful voice that echoed through the halls, and Miss Mitchell's and Miss Roman's constant laughter and available candy. We cannot thank you enough. Our last point of reflection and appreciation comes to our families. We physically could not be here today without them, but psychologically and emotionally, they have played a huge part in our development, and we would definitely not be the people we are today without their unconditional love, support, and sacrifice to give us the lives we have been so blessed to live. So with that being said, and the pending departure to university, I beg you, my peers, give your family members, especially your parents, extra long hugs and say I love you more frequently in the coming weeks, because they will miss us more than we'll ever know, and vice versa. In a few moments, the screen will fade to black on our high school movie. But remember, like everyone says, this is not the end, but the beginning of the rest of our lives. And we should use our experiences and our knowledge gained over the past 4 years to remind us who we are and where we've come from, and prove to us that we are indeed ready for college, the sequel, and capable of overcoming any obstacle and achieving our dreams. I know this for a fact because we have mastered adaptability. Adaptability is arguably the greatest skill we can possess because it makes us more valuable and irreplaceable. We have developed this skill through the rigor and nature of the IB program and the accomplishments for our class despite the numerous changes over the past few years. Someone knew that this group of young people, I am so honored to be a part of and represent, was going to be special because they built this stunning campus for us to be the first ones to matriculate at for all 4 years of our high school careers. Not every movie has a happy ending, but ours does. Congratulations, class of 2016. We have graduated and will succeed in the future. Thank you, and I wish you all the best of luck, but you won't need it.
Seniors, your big moment is upon us. I'd like to invite Dr. Stephen Sherman to the podium.
Well, this is it. The moment you've all been waiting for. No more speeches, no more advice, no more tests. I know that it's bittersweet. There's excitement, but also a measure of sadness. It is with great pleasure that we present the class of 2016, and so that I may take this moment to congratulate you all one more time, I'd like to invite Mr. Gordon Brown to the stage to read the names.
And so it is. So we begin the final walk. First, Calvin Jawin Chin. Calvin has been a member of the Rancho Solano residential family for 2 years. He has really enjoyed learning about immersing himself in the culture of the Southwest. Calvin looks forward to pursuing a career in computer engineering at Rochester Institute of Technology. Tom Beltran. Tracy has been a proud Mustang for 2 years of high school. She has loved playing basketball and lacrosse. Tracy looks forward to attending college at Kansas University in pursuit of a career in electrical engineering. Nathan Kenneth Grove. Nathan has been a proud Mustang member for all 4 years of high school. He enjoyed the atmosphere of that Rancho offered and the challenges of both the IB diploma program. Nathan looks forward to attending the Arizona State University, pursuing a career in biochemistry. Shannon Elizabeth Gurley. Shannon has been a Mustang for 14 years. She has participated in musical theater and in volleyball and everything in between. She cherishes her moments of class trips and collaborative efforts in student government. Shannon is looking forward to challenging herself this fall as a student athlete at Washington University in St. Louis. Emery Ann Hall. Emery has been a student at Rancho Solano since her freshman year. She has enjoyed her time being plays for her full high school career. Emery looks forward to attending the Herberger Institute of Design and Fine Art at ASU. Danielle Azimi. Danny has attended Rancho Solano for 6 years. She has endeavored many things at Rancho, such as being president of the Pre-Med Club, being an IB diploma candidate, and pursuing numerous routes of community service both locally and internationally. Danny will be studying human biology under a pre-med track at the University of Southern California in the fall. Fight on. Nicholas Allen Householder. Nick has been at Rancho Solano for only 1 year since transferring from Escola Guardada de Sao Paulo. I I might have botched that. Nick has enjoyed excelling academically and placing first at the Southwest Regional Powerlifting Meet. Next year, he will be attending the University of Southern California, where he'll be studying human biology. Ju Yaquin. Jade has been in Rancho for the last 2 years. She is an excellent violin player, has enjoyed excelling in math, as well as participating in many sports and extracurricular activities. Over the time at Rancho, she has really appreciated the opportunity to meet, live with, make friends with people from various cultures. Jade cannot wait to attend UCSD for the next 4 years and double major in mathematics and economics. Anita Ipeso Capadani. Anita has attended Rancho for 8 years. She has loved being part of the basketball, cross country, and tennis teams, as well as being a part of the IB diploma program. Anita has also enjoyed time spent with classmates and teachers. She looks forward to attending the University of San Diego. Farhan Halsi. Farhan has been a proud Mustang for 1 year. He has loved making new friends here at Rancho Solano. Farhan looks forward to attending college at Arizona State University in pursuit of a career as a doctor. Karan Kosla. Karan has been at Rancho for 8 years. One of his favorite memories was getting revenge on Mr. Burgess for everything via pies in the face and getting to dump ice cold water on him. Karan really looks forward to discovering his future at Georgia Tech. Ling Jintao. Tommy has been a student for 3 years here at Rancho. He has enjoyed the opportunity to be a part of the residential family and get to know many international friends. He aspires to be a great businessman like his parents. Malcolm Maston. Malcolm has been a Mustang for 2 years. He has enjoyed the many history debates and other creative in-class activities in the IB program. Malcolm looks forward to being a Sun Devil this fall. Min Tae-yan. Has been a Rancho Mustang for all 4 years of high school. She truly enjoyed building lifelong friendships with current and previous students of Rancho Solano. In the future, she looks forward to continuing her education and truly living life to its fullest. Win Van Dam. Studied at Rancho for 2 years. His favorite moment at Rancho was when he scored his first goal in a home game during the fall soccer season. Dong is looking forward to attending University of Redlands in the fall and majoring in finance. Wen Tang Hien. Tien has been a Mustang for 2 years of high school. She has loved playing basketball and participating in many extracurricular activities with her friends. She looks forward to attending college at Texas Tech University in pursuit of a career in nutritional sciences. Wen Nok Bao Tran. Wendy has been a proud Mustang for 2 years. She has really loved the way Rancho community embraces its students like family. Thanks to her IB course load, Wendy feels prepared for college and looks forward to a career in the medical field. Nguyen Van Quang. Quang has been enlisting for 2 years. His favorite memory of high school was scoring 2 goals in a soccer game. Quang looks forward to majoring in psychology at the University of Redlands. Grace Marie Palmer. Grace has been a student at Rancho for 3 years. She has enjoyed playing volleyball and will miss her teammates. She is looking forward to continuing her education at Barrett, the Honors College at ASU, and keeping in contact with all of her friends. Cameron Arthur Parmesan. Cameron has been a proud member of Rancho Solano for 13 years. Starting back in kindergarten, his favorite memory of his high school years has been the amazing guys he's been able to play basketball with. They are his family, and he loves them more than anything in the world. Cameron looks forward to playing college basketball at the University of St. Francis in Joliet, Illinois next year. Go Saints! Raheel Ramzan. Raheel has been a Rancho Mustang for 11 years. He has enjoyed producing music with his friends who go by the name Paradise Productions, as well as being a senior class president, playing varsity basketball, and participating in Key and Pre-Med Club. Raheel looks forward to attending the University of Rochester in the fall. Chaitanya Dasa Te Alan. Chaitanya joined Rancho Solano 9 months ago and is already graduating today. He loves to perform his talents on dancing for the student body and the faculty members of Rancho Solano. He has choreographed dances for Annie, joined school plays, and performed Latin ballroom dancing with his sister in front of the Rancho family. He is very excited to be pursuing dietetics and nutrition at Arizona State University. Wong Chen-si. Tom has been a student of RSPS for 3 years. He enjoyed the opportunity to meet new people at Rancho Solano. Tom looks forward to attending ASU in the fall.
I'd like to invite Dr. Paul Johnson to the stand.
Graduates, it is time. Please rise. It is my pleasure to confirm that you have completed and exceeded all necessary coursework as required by the State of Arizona and International Baccalaureate Diploma Program. It is now time to move your tassel from the left to the right. Now, on 3, you may throw your hats in 1,
for attending today's event and have a wonderful evening.
It's okay, I need sound and I've been recording, so. Give me cut. Give me cut, Mike. Give me cut. Okay. Cool.